right, y'all. What's up? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be talking about Cot's cured ear infection. Now that I have it under control about a year later. We're going to talk about some things, talk about what happened, talk about, second opinions and all type of stuff. So basically, probably about a year ago, Cot got an ear infection, right? It wasn't really bad, whatever. So, it would go away, come back, go away, come back, go away, come back, right? As I treated it. So I did that off and on for about 8 months, right? And then after that, it just never would go away. Like, whatever I did. So I scheduled my doctor's appointment, as y'all saw in that last video a few months ago. And, we got this cytology, which is basically like they pull stuff out of his ear, and then they check it and see what kind of bacteria it is, or fungal, or whatever the case may be, which I know it wasn't fungal because we're super clean. So I wouldn't expect them to have fungal, right? Because I wipe his feet often and stuff like that too. So super clean, right? So what ended up happening was he had some other labs and stuff we pulled, some stuff for his prostate and stuff too. So we got to talk about that as well. Basically what happens is we get the cytology they gave me the other labs back like a week later, and then I never received, like for months, I never received the call for his ear. So I'm like cleaning his ear every day, making sure it's clean. And this particular infection, man, it was like you would clean it completely clean, and then like the next day it would look like you haven't touched his ear in months. So it was really, really, really bad. And so then, I never received a call, never received a call. I called them. I got in a busy period. Then I was able to call them and say, hey, like, what's going on with the stuff that y'all took? And they were like, oh, well, the doctor never, set a time to call you. So they set a time to call me. Doctor never called me again, right? And then so what I ended up doing was calling them back again weeks later, which was probably like a month or two ago. And then end up getting something scheduled in like a month ago. So basically what they found here is that he had one of the fastest, hardest bacteria to get rid of. I forgot what they called it, but he said it was like a pistol-shaped style bacteria. He was like, that one and E. coli is kind of like the hardest ones to get rid of. But so this is what they did. This is what I did first beforehand. So I was treating this with just the store-bought medicines, apple cider vinegar, the whole 9 yards. And that was keeping it clean, but then his ears started to get raw because the infection started to pick up and started to get even worse. And so that's what made me get out of my busy period and buckle down. I know y'all probably think I'm always here, which I am, but I'm pretty open with my schedule. So, but I'm like busy most of the time. So I don't have time for little stuff like that a lot of the time. So, but we ended up getting that figured out. So when I took him back, we went back in. I'm like, yeah, his ears like getting raw, starting to bleed, all type of stuff. So they pulled another cytology again. It was the same type of pistol-shaped, bacteria. So what they did was gave him an oral and an eardrop for that particular one. Now I don't have the bottle, but I ended up giving him 2 medicines, 1 oral, and then some eardrops every day for 14 days, and then 3 pills of the oral a day for 10 days. So that cleared, like literally, we gave him the medicine. When I got home, I gave it to him. I cleaned his ear before I went, and it was already leaking again. so they was able to see the bacteria. So when I got home, I just basically gave him the medicine because his ear was still kind of partially clean. I just wiped it out dry. I didn't put any cleaner in there. I just swabbed it out dry and got it clean as I can dry. That way he wouldn't have any moisture in his ear. And then I gave him the drops, gave him the medicine. Literally the next day it was already better. So what could I have done better? Probably switch vets, right? So I really thought about switching vets. I don't want to say what vet I go to. It's not, it's not important, I guess. But I'm probably going to be looking for another vet that's basically, more, more trained and, more, I wouldn't want to say holistic, but give you a little bit more approaches than just to, throw like little tids and tablets at it, stuff like that. Because it seemed like when I went to the vet, they didn't really too much care until his ear started bleeding. So it's like, okay. So I'll probably look for a different vet in the meantime. But yeah, we got everything figured out. He's all good now. He does have like a little prostate issue, from what I can tell. So I'm probably bring him to another vet about that. And we don't, basically, I talked to the doctor at the vet when I went, and he thinks he's just producing too much tests, which I agree, because he's a very, very, like, excitable on-go dog, and I think he's not, he's producing too much tests, which is making his prostate a little bit enlarged, because he just has a little dribble here after he goes to the bathroom here and there. So I think we got something with that. So I've been giving him some supplements to help that prostate, kind of, go down, help his bladder and stuff like that. So, but we'll see how those work out. But yeah, this is all for Cock. Today he's chilling. It's early as hell, so he's still sleepy tail. He's a big dog, strong, smart, handsome, and he's still chilling, still sleepy tail. And yep, that's it for this one, man. So yeah, ear infection figured out. It's been about a month, I think, and no issues. So I just keep his ear clean about twice a week. I just clean his ears, him and Birds, and then that way we keep infections away. It is starting to pick up on some of this heat. We'd probably be traveling here again in a couple of weeks, but yeah, that, and probably goes to somewhere cooler, less swampy and stuff like that. So, ears all clean, he's all good health. We're gonna try to see what we can do about that little prostate thing he got going on. But I'll probably take him to a different vet and get a second opinion on that, and maybe have another holistic approach to it. Now, one thing they can say I can do is get him neutered, which I do not want to do. I'm gonna keep him intact. He has no reason. Now, unless his prostate starts to be like a real issue, then I'll get him neutered. But most of the time, I'm not gonna get him neutered. It's just healthier for the dog overall. Basically the science say they live longer when you keep them intact. So that's it. That's big old Cot. He's just chilling, hanging out in his little corner that he likes to stay in, tired. But I'll see you guys in the next one.